So good evening, everyone. Today, me and my partner will be taking you through Amazon's acquisition of MGM. So we have created a sort of a summary here. Let me introduce ourselves first. So I am Shreyansh Gattani. I have completed my undergrad from IIT Delhi. I have been working for the past 3 years in Indian Oil Corporation, and I'll be joining IIM Ahmedabad for post-graduation program in MBA. Over to my colleague Gautam. Please
Uh,
introduce yourself.
Hello everyone. My name is Magam Gautam. I'm an ex-Cognizant employee and I've completed my BTech in computer science and I'll be joining SCM HRD. Back to you,
Okay.
Shreyansh.
Yeah. Thank you. So we'll be taking over. We have tried to analyze this from the perspective of firstly each company's perspective, and then we have tried to give a brief about the acquisition and how both the companies will benefit from it, and then we have tried to do some sort of analysis by using a discounted cash flow model. So yeah, Gautam, can we move on to the next slide? Yeah. So let us first begin by analyzing MGMs. So Metro Goldwyn Mayer has been there in the movie production industry since the past 90 years, and it has a lot of experience in that domain with 4,000 movies and 17,000 TV shows. And their expertise is depicted by the fact that they have won 177 Academy Awards, which is a very big achievement for any production house that we see. And currently, if we look in from the point of view of assets, they have a very large film studio with a lot of assets worth $28 million, and they own a channel known as Epix, via which they can telecast their programs in normal and HD mediums on the US broadcasting platform in the television. And now coming on to the weaknesses of MGM. So for the past decade, MGM has been financially weak, and they were close to bankruptcy during 2009 and 2010. And now they have been trying to get acquired over the past decade. And this further this is evident from the fact that they have had declining financial ratings, especially by Moody's, SIG, etc. And they have in the past year, due to COVID, their business have been very much impacted, and this has also resulted in a decline in their cash flows, because a lot of movies are pending in production or releases. So they have not been able to generate much of cash during the COVID times. And the major reason has been that they do not have a streaming platform to release their movies in the OTT space. And this can be an opportunity for them, this acquisition particularly, to partner with a streaming platform and go towards releasing their movies online so that the pandemic does not affect them. So currently, their opportunities are also coming up with the vaccination drives in each of the countries, because this is a positive sign for them, and they will be able to generate their cash back through the movies that are pending release. And the threats which are there is the new mutants which are coming, as we all know, which can basically prolong this pandemic. So I think this is the biggest threat for them right now. So moving on to the next slide, and over to you, Gautam, to describe Amazon.
Thank you, Shreyansh. So coming to the SWOT analysis of Amazon, I'll be giving some insights regarding specifically to the media platform of Amazon. So Amazon, it has a very well-established streaming platform with more than 200 million subscribers, and that has priorly increased during this pandemic, especially in 2019, it had 140 million subscribers, but it has seen a major increase to 200 million plus subscribers during the pandemic, and it's available in 19 countries, and majorly it occupies 25% of the market share. Amazon already has a merchandising platform which operates in 200 plus countries. So this is one of the major strengths. If some of the if during the acquisition, because this will give them a better platform to show the merchandises specific to MGM. Coming to the capital strengths of Amazon, it's one of the most valuable companies, and it has a capital of 1.76 trillion dollars. The deal pertaining to MGM is the cash reserves of Amazon itself are enough for the deal. So coming to the weakness part of Amazon. So even though Amazon has able to acquire so many customers, so many subscribers to the Prime videos, but it has failed to release some of the hit original movies and some of the original TV shows as compared to the other competitors such as Netflix. And due to this, they have been able to release only 314 hours of original content. Amazon, even though Amazon has an Amazon studio which has been set up in 2010, it has not been well developed, and only 78 titles have been released since 2010. So coming to the opportunities point, especially from the point of view of the deal, Amazon will get access to the rich intellectual property of MGM pertaining to 400 films and 1700 hours of TV content, especially the popular TV shows and movies such as James Bond series and the Pink Panther series. So this will give the opportunity for Amazon to increase the merchandising sales. And as we know, MGM has one of the well-established industries, so it will be able to give a great creative content, and this will provide Amazon to improve its creativity even further. And we know MGM has one of the best studios, so Amazon will be able to use this studio even better. So coming to the threats part, there is an increasing competition, especially from the other players such as Netflix, and there has been many mergers and acquisition taking place in this specific to the OTT platform, coming to Disney, HBO, and other companies. So one of the major other threats that Amazon will be facing during this acquisition is the multi-year contracts that some of the titles in MGM has. For example, James Bond title has a multi-year contract with other companies, so and it will be really difficult for Amazon during this acquisition process. Next, I'll be providing the acquisition summary regarding this. So coming to the basic numbers of the acquisition. So the purchase price of this. So basically, Amazon will be acquiring MGM Studios for $8.45 billion, and this will be the second largest acquisition in the history. And this, as we have seen the numbers, as we have seen the cash reserves of Amazon in the previous slide. So Amazon basically has a cash reserves of 8 times the price of the deal. Coming to the challenges, the major challenge in this field, in this acquisition, is the existing contract that that MGM has, and it will be really tough time for Amazon to take over this challenge. Over to you, Shreyansh.
Yeah, so now we'll be talking about what each of the partner bags in this acquisition. So coming on to Amazon. So Amazon has made its presence in the OTT space via its Prime Video thing. And but the thing where it's lacking is the original content which it provides. So as we see, there is a lot of original content being generated on Netflix. And especially after the Disney Hotstar acquisition, that platform also has been generating a lot of original content. So now what Amazon needs is, apart from titles from other production houses, it needs its original content for it to grow as a huge OTT, as a major OTT platform. And Amazon backs 4,000 movies and 17,000 episodes of the titles of MGM, and which are cult classic in its domain, such as Tom and Jerry, James Bond, etc. So these kind of things, if acquired successfully, would result in a lot of original content in Amazon's kitty. And along with it, not only the OTT platform, Amazon also bags a TV channel, so which is a huge thing in its own right, because Epix, once it comes with Amazon, it will make Amazon's presence visible in the TV industry as well. And with the expertise of MGM Studios, its assets, its artists, and its expertise, Amazon will be certainly able to create quality content and capture the OTT as well as the television market. So this is one thing that Amazon really needs, and it gets from its acquisition. Now coming on to the part of MGM. Now, since MGM has been up and down in the financial situation, and it needs a lot of cash flow, because movie production is a business where a constant cash flow is certainly required, so that a lot of expense is required in the movie production. And that's why Amazon, being a cash rich company, this will provide MGM studios a really large budget for their movie ventures and TV show ventures, and they will be able to create good quality content with the help of the financials provided by Amazon. And MGM bags its presence on a streaming platform, which was the only thing missing in Amazon MGM's title. It was, although it was already collaborating with Amazon in some instances, in some TV series such as Variety, etc. But still, the major presence for other TV shows was lacking enough. So that's why MGM bags this streaming platform presence, and this is a very good point from the point of view of MGM. Coming on to the next slide. Yeah. So what we tried here is analyzing MGM's and Amazon's merger, or we call it an acquisition by Amazon. So analyzing this acquisition from a point of view that MGM is incorporated in a business vertical. Although this is not this is an assumption from our side, because the two companies when merged will certainly generate more revenues. But for the point of view of calculations, we made an assumption that MGM is a vertical of Amazon, and the EBITDA generated from the movies which are rented to other streaming platforms, we counted this as an we took it as an revenue flow. And analyzing the thing with the discounted cash flow model, we assumed an organic growth rate of 9%, which is actually reflected from the financials of MGM. And we took a 20-year cash flow analysis, and we assumed that Amazon would be financing this with debt rather than debt plus equity mixture, because the debt cost is very lower for Amazon because of its high cash flow and credit rating. And this gave us an IRR of 18%, which looked pretty lucrative with respect to an acquisition. Although this has a lot of assumptions that MGM is treated as a vertical rather than a combined mixture, and more revenues will be generated in the OTT platform, as well as this would also lead to an increase in brand value of Amazon amidst the people due to all the titles that would be coming. So these are the assumptions that we have took, and we have achieved these results. Now, Gautam will talk about tailwinds.
So coming to the tailwinds point of view, so this acquisition will help Amazon to be the next big streaming platform, which it has been aiming from the past years. So the major chunk of the movies, the already popular titles and movies will help Amazon to grow even further and increase its subscriber base. Coming to the other part, MGM has one of the rich cultures, such as the rich movie titles such as James Bond, and which will allow Amazon to transform into a pop culture. Another major advantage during this deal is Amazon already has an existing contract with MGM, especially for example in TV shows such as Variety, and hence this will make it easy. This will make the acquisition even easier. Thank you.
So thank you, Shreyans. Thank you, Gautam, for your wonderful presentation. So you guys have put really hard work in making this presentation. So I'll give the detailed feedback on your presentation.
Hi everyone. My screen is visible to all.
Yes, Priya, it's visible.
Yes. Hi everyone. My name is Priya Khade. I am an BTech graduate from Walton College of Engineering, Sangli. Currently working in Wurth IT as an associate consultant. So now my friend Pawan will introduce himself.
Thank you, Priya. Hi everyone, this is Pawan. I graduated from V8 University in 2016, and since then I'm working in aviation industry, and currently I'm working as an avionics engineering in Airbus. Yes, so today we are going to talk about Amazon acquiring MGM. So next slide, please. Yes, if we see we know that Amazon has acquired MGM for 8.45 billion. Before talking into details about it or how it impacts Amazon as a company or something, so we'll talk about Amazon, how it has grown over the years. So we can see that Amazon was having around 7 billion of revenue in 2004, and currently it has more than 380 billion of revenue in 2020. So it has grown over multifold, and this growth has like a compound annual growth rate of around 31.6 percentage. So this particular growth includes both organic growth and also inorganic growth. Next, please. If we see, like prior to 2009, Amazon was mostly concentrated in North America region, and it tried to increase its sales through organic growth, like by adding certain categories in its online services, like and every other thing. But at a point, it has reached a peak, so they can't increase their organic growth much further in in that particular region. So suppose say they can't increase or introduce a new category stream for ice creams or any other perishable items in Amazon. So, and also the low cost items like $1 chocolates or anything. So that return on investment will be somewhat difficult. So they had almost reached a peak in this particular categories or in these online services. That's when they started contributing or concentrating more on the inorganic growth through mergers and acquisitions or through going through different regions or through different demographics. Next slide, please. This is a graph where we can see what is the revenue percentage that they are having from each of their segments. We can see that around 50% is still they are getting it through their online stores. Around 160 billion is that they are getting it through online services that they are providing. And they do have other services like AWS, Amazon Web Services, subscription services, physical stores, third-party selling services, every other thing. Out of all these things, we can see one thing that what we can see is like, even though they form a smaller percentage in the Amazon's revenue contribution, Amazon is a leading player in that particular service, in that particular segment. We can see, suppose say Amazon Web Services, it forms just 12% of Amazon's revenue, but still Amazon is the #1 player over there. And Microsoft and Google just forms the other competitors to them. So they are in second and third position respectively. Similarly to the other segments, whatever they are having. So what the Amazon is trying to do over here is like not only increasing their inorganic growth or increasing their revenue, they are also trying to be a #1 or in top 2 positions in each of these segments. So we can see the rankings across each segment, like in online stores, it's first, and subscription services second, physical store second, etc. In other services that includes Amazon Pay or other space research programs like Blue Origin, etc. That is where Amazon is really trying to push for the years is what we can see. Now my friend Priya will continue from here.
Okay, so moving towards the Amazon's acquisition, Amazon has traditionally been like a conservative buyer in the market. So in the year 2017, Amazon has made a record of like 11 acquisitions. So the below graph here shows the visual timeline of the largest acquisition in the company's history. So the few takeaways from the Amazon's acquisitions are: first, the company has spent more than $20 billion to make up to its top 10 acquisition. Also, we can see from the graph that there's been extreme diversity in the business of the Amazon's business interest in different fields like media, e-commerce, robotics, smart homes, as well as the healthcare. So next is the MGM global revenue by the segment for the year 2018. So in the year 2019, we can see from the graph that the MGM Holdings reported revenues of approximately 588 million US dollars in its film content segment, down from the year down from down from 612 million in the previous year. So, meanwhile, the revenue from the company's television content segment decreased by almost $50 million in the same time period. So, we can see the Amazon, the wide range of content that MGM is providing with approximately 400 films and 17 hours of entertainment. What offers other than Amazon MGM was having in this deal was: the first is the Apple and the second is CMCSA, which approximately roughly estimated an amount of $6 billion. Moving towards the Prime subscription services, so Amazon has built its retail empire relying on the Prime. So, but meanwhile, the others, there were other offerings in the market from the other buyers as well, other retailers as well. So, Amazon has to continuously add in order to match the content in the market and also to stay in the league. So, Amazon has more than 200 million web members worldwide, so which is designed to pull the people into the Amazon ecosystem, and which is offering a discount in the all the each of the sectors. And we can also see the price, online prices are also matching the prices which are being offered at the physical bookstores. So more than 80% of the people analysis which says that more than 80% of the people has have just signed Prime to get the 2-day shipping 2-day shipping, which clearly shows that there is a huge growth in the consumer streaming. Next is the huge driver of the consumers customer spending. So US Prime members spend an average of $1,200 every year at Prime, compared to the $700 non-member spending. So coming to the synergy, this deal would mean more than just expanding into the Amazon's library. However, these are like the four rundown of the biggest upsides Amazon could realize in bringing MGM Studio in the new fold. First is the quality and the quantity. The addition of the new video to the Amazon current collection would be still significant, but the recent count suggests that MGM's film library consists of more than 400 titles, offering an 17,000 hours of entertainment. Second is the Amazon's gains access to the distribution channel outside of Prime. So Amazon is around us since the year 1924, and MGM is MGM is around us since the year 1924, and MGM is neither a Hollywood outsider nor a newcomer. So sharing the distribution resources with the MGM, which also owns its own subscription channel, will definitely allow Amazon to monetize more and more content in the near future. Third is the Amazon offers more focused leadership. So, unlike most of the other film production houses, MGM Studio is owned by a private equity and hedge funds. Example like the Anchorage Capital, which is the biggest stakeholder, yet it controls just one third of the company's. Just it has a stake which controls just one third of the company. So the which means that the studio owners have other business interest as well. So this will help this with the help of Amazon, they will be able to maximize the studio's potential, which it is not doing currently right now. So the conclusion which we have done from analyzing this case study from the Amazon perspective and the MGM's perspective is that Amazon has been aggressive on the television side, spending notably in the recent years to create its own content, but sometimes it has struggled to find its place. According to MGM, Amazon will gain a key weapon to attract people to the Prime Video, and also MGM has struggled with its modern content. So with the acquisition of with this acquisition, more they are aiming to bring assets to from both the sides, and so the combination of this tech giant with the studio will definitely bring recharge both of the company's fortunes. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Priya. Thank you, Pawan, for your presentation. You guys have done really good job. So thank you once again.
Okay, so hi, my name is Bliss Sinha. I have completed my bachelor's in chemical engineering from BIT Mesra, and I've worked with UHG for around 2 years. I'm going to pursue my postgraduate diploma in business management from XLRI Jamshedpur.
Hi,
Kushal?
I'm Kushal. Hi,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
Kushal, an economics graduate from Delhi University, and I've worked with KPMG as a risk advisory analyst for 2 years. I'm currently pursuing my MBA from NMIMS Mumbai.
So today we would be presenting a case study analysis on the ongoing acquisition of MGM by Amazon. So Amazon is a 26-year-old company, which was started with the vision of revolutionizing online marketing, but substantially increased its footprint across various other fields. On the other hand, Metro Golden Mayer Studios, popularly known as MGM Studios, is a MGM Holdings subsidiary, and it was and has always been involved in the production and distribution of feature films and television programs. This 96-year-old entity is one of the oldest film studios. Let's dive into the details of these businesses now. So Amazon started with online marketing, like I mentioned before, and it went on to do AWS, Alexa, Amazon Prime Video, and expanded through leaps and bounds. Mentioned here are some of the products, services, and the major industries Amazon has been a part of. Contrasting it with the older company MGM, which hasn't really explored other fields, but has remained the major player in the field it has been a part of, which is basically entertainment and mass media. So as we can see, Amazon's industry includes cloud computing, e-commerce, artificial intelligence, and so on and so forth. These are some of the major products that Amazon has, and these are the main services. Similarly, mentioned here are industry and products of MGM. The synergy. So here we are exploring what will the synergy of Amazon and MGM in this $8.45 million deal will have in store for them as individual entities. So first and foremost, it will have an access to its already large existing library, which is famous for creations like James Bond and Legally Blonde, etc. Secondly, the intellectual property rights. The IP rights would give them the right to create crossover episodes. And we have seen the increase in popularity when different characters come together. Maybe something even bigger than the end game. And thirdly, money. MGM recently emerged out of bankruptcy, and the earnings after clearing debts, taxes wasn't so much. So yes, it is a big win-win for both the parties. Here is the subscribers worldwide in millions. And as we can see, that Netflix has been a major player for the past few years. And with acquisition, Amazon aims to overcome Netflix, if not in one, but definitely in the coming 2-3 years. Talking about revenue growths, the main changes which would cause an increase in the revenue growth are content, subscriptions, and advertisements. The popularity of OTT platforms has been on a 30% rise, but the pandemic made it reach even greater heights. Like I mentioned, a larger content would make it possible to cater it to the other target audience, maybe more kid-friendly or adult-friendly content, and can make it even more lucrative, which in turn would increase the number of subscriptions and the advertisements. And one should not be surprised if Apex, the cable TV, goes on to become Amazon's cash cow. So over to you, Kushal.
Thank you, Bliss. As we come to the valuations part, we have seen that Amazon has paid a whooping sum of $8.45 billion. Although it has been speculated that they have paid 40% more than the actual value that most of the other business organizations had calculated. But there must have been some strategic analysis and future planning done before acquiring MGM for $8.45 billion. For the same, we have done the valuation that is the deal favorable or not. For the same, we went through the annual report of Amazon. We have taken the net sales and profit from the year 2016 till 2020. The net revenue is steadily growing up at 30% per annum, and we have assumed it to grow the same way in the next 6 years. We have followed the trend of profit as percentage of sales to calculate the profit percentage in the upcoming 6 years. As we know, the major impact of this acquisition will be on the streaming business and cloud services. Cloud services include the revenue through advertisement, which will come through the MGM cable channel Epix. As we know, the US Securities and Exchange Commission was not informed about the deal beforehand, we consider this deal not to hold a very major position in Amazon's business. It's just like an other normal deal. So we hope that the revenue through AWS and subscription that contributes to 20% of the whole revenue that Amazon generates to rise by 25%. The new net revenue post acquisition will increase by 5% as a result of this, because the subscription and AWS services contribute to 20% in all contribute to 20% of the total revenue that Amazon generates. And we hope that this revenue will be increased by 25% after the acquisition of MGM. So the new revenue will increase by 5%. And the difference between the profits that we've calculated in the upcoming 6 years is mentioned here, that in 2021, it will be $1.25 billion. In 2022, it will be $1.63 billion. In 2023, it will be $4.24 billion, and so on till 2026. We further discount these profits with the cost of capital of MGM, which is mentioned as 10%. We can easily see that Amazon will be able to recover all this $8.45 billion in the coming 4 years and will look to generate hefty profits in the years to come. Now we move ahead to the challenges and threats. Amazon lacks in the original content and is lacking far behind Netflix and even Hotstar after being acquired by Disney. The other major challenges are that in majority of the South Asian countries and India, people prefer watching movies in cineplexes, leading to healthy collections at the box office. Moreover, since there is no provision of limiting the number of users who can access one account simultaneously, OTT platforms and Amazon Prime are not able to charge customer on pay-per-view basis. All in all, it's a win situation for Amazon, and it hopes to generate greater revenue with this deal. Thank you.
Thank you, Bliss. Thank you, Kushal, for making this presentation. So you guys have made the numbers pretty well. So number crunching is the best part that I like for your presentation.